95 miles an hour, leading to thousands of power outages.
Those areas received about 12 inches of snow.
The last early snow this time of year in Negaunee Township outside Marquette was 1.5 inches in 2020.
A warning about hair straighteners.
The researchers found women who use hair straightening products more than 4 times a year are more than 2.5 times as likely to develop uterine cancer. Though the rate was the same for black as for white women, far more black women develop uterine cancer each year because so many use hair straighteners.
CBS's Vicki Barker. The federal government is taking action against some e-cigarette makers, says CBS's Alex Tin.
The FDA says it is taking e-cigarette companies in Minnesota, West Virginia, Washington, Georgia, Kansas, and Arizona to court after it says they flouted federal law, refusing to apply for permission to sell their vape products and then ignoring warnings that they could face penalties for continuing to sell them.
In the American League Division Series, the New York Yankees beat the Cleveland Guardians 5-1 in Game 5. More from CBS's Steve Futterman.
The Yankees controlled the contest pretty much the entire game, led by this. Drive to right center field, back to the wall, and gone. The call on CBS, a 3-run home run in the first inning by Giancarlo Stanton, gave New York a 3-0 lead. The Yankees would never trail.
The Yanks now face the Astros in the American League. A NASCAR driver, Bubba Wallace, has been suspended for one race. He spun the reigning champion Kyle Larson in a dangerous retaliation move at Las Vegas Motor Speedway over the weekend. This is CBS News. Whether it's the news, the traffic, the weather, or your COVID-19 vaccination, it's important to stay up to date. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
This is KNX News, 97.1 FM.
The people you know.
The voices you trust.
I'm Brian Ping. It's 9:03. More in depth coming up. But first, the federal grand jury has issued a new criminal indictment against the cancer of Brian Boat's Inception, which caused firearms death.
34 people aboard were killed when a trailer was aboard.
The new indictment against Federal Harry Boyle alleges gross negligence and inattention to his duties in the operation of the ship. And according to Assistant U.S. Attorney Matt O'Brien, that's the heart of the claim of the conduct of the ship's officer, that he took actions that put his passengers and crew in danger.
The indictment alleges that Captain Boylan abandoned ship during the fire while the 33 passengers and one crew member were still alive and trapped below deck.
It's the government's contention Boylan should have stayed aboard, directed firefighting efforts rather than abandoning the vessel.
A transcript of the deposition given by former chair of USC's governing board, Rick Caruso, on alleged abuse by gynecologist Dr. George Tindall, has not produced many more details about the investigation into the allegations. The LA Times has reviewed the transcript and says Caruso did not give too many answers on the advice of the university's legal team when he was deposed back in 2020. Caruso took over as chair of USC's board not long after revelations about Tindall were made public. People are already landing in the hospital with the flu about a month ahead of the traditional flu season. Our Natalie Davidian reports health experts are reminding people to get the vaccine.
Dr. William Shafter, medical director of the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases, says it's not, quote, only the flu.
We're going to have a very substantial influenza season. We have to remind people that in addition to COVID, they know about COVID, there's this other virus out there, influenza. And we can provide protection against both by a vaccine against each.
The CDC says minority communities have the highest rates of hospitalization and lowest rates of the flu vaccine.
I think we need to all work together to get as many people vaccinated against influenza as possible.
Dr. Shafter says anyone older than 6 months can get the flu shot. Natalie Davidian, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
9:05 on KNX.